So once you get fit, all right, once you're comfortable with your golf swing, the direction that you're going to go, you actually have to get out there and swing the club hard. So if your putting stinks and you're missing 4-footers, it irks you and you go practice your 4-footers. A lot of people are irked by the fact that they don't hit the golf ball as far as they used to, but they're completely unwilling to do anything about it. It's a very strange phenomenon in golf.
Hey there, Miracle Swingers. I've got an awesome video for you today with World Long Drive champion Justin James, who just won the long drive event at Hobe Sound. It's a great video. We talk about his win, we talk about his technique, and he even tells us how you can get longer, and we break down the over-the-top Miracle Swing. It's a great video. The next Miracle Swing experience is the weekend of May 27th and 28th. I'd love to invite you guys out. It's going to be an incredible, transformative weekend of golf. So hit 'em long and hit 'em straight. All right, guys, I'm here today with one of my favorite characters in the entire world of golf. It's Justin James. Justin James was a 2017 World Long Drive champion, and he just won the last event at Hobe Sound. We're going to be talking about technique, tools, and training, and he's going to help you hit the ball further. So how are you doing today, Justin?
I'm doing very well. I'm very excited to be here and excited to dive into all the different, secrets that we've got here.
Lots of secrets. I can't wait to hear some more of yours. So we've been friends about 1.5 years now. And, it's pretty exciting that I just saw you win a week ago, right? Can you tell me about that win you had in the last event?
Yeah. So Hobe Sound, Jupiter, Florida at the Polo Fields. We have some events in some weird places because it's not every golf course that you've got just, 500-600 yards of open real estate. So we go to some unique venues. Actually, the year before in the final, it was a repeat. It was so the year before, so 2022, we're hitting in the final match and there's horses in the background. So it's kind of like, right behind the grid, they're playing a polo tournament. So it's a neat place. 64 hitters, and it was a 3-day event, and hit a couple good at the end and was able to win. That's the story.
Wow. So just so our viewers know what pretty good is, what were your final balls? Those were pretty big balls.
Yeah, I won with 420. They were all over 410 to 420 range. Every grid is unique. So, and to give you some inside baseball as to what we do for the viewer, this is not just a 100-meter dash, get up, swing as hard as you can, one shot. Because, what is long drive? Most people don't understand. We're hitting in a round robin format. Okay, 4 guys on a tee box. That whittles down eventually to match play. 6 golf balls over 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Best golf ball or your longest drive is your qualifying drive. And what we're looking at is, every grid's different. So not only do you have to have the ball speed, it's a 40 to a 75-yard grid. So basically take a high school football field, put it 350 yards away, and that's what you're hitting into. It's a pretty good, so, it's a box basically that you're hitting into. And then within that grid, sometimes there's hot zones. So this last event, the right side was a little bit hotter. You could get maybe 5-10 extra yards of roll. So that was kind of the difference in the final, as I was able, with my eyes closed, to push one out to that right side and hit the right side. Got a few extra yards of roll, and ultimately that was the difference maker.
Wow, that is incredible. I saw that it was a really tight match. And who are you in the finals going up against?
It was me and Berkshire in the final, and it was a repeat of last year. So he got me in 21 by 8 yards, 6 yards, something like that. And I got him by 3 this year. So it's always very tight. And a lot of times, guys, guys are missing advancing by a yard. We have a 6-inch rule where if it's in 6 inches, we'll repeat. But outside of that, these are coming down to a yard all the time. I believe 2021, the World Championship, I lost by 2 or 4 yards, somewhere in there. So we're talking about a whole year's worth of work coming down to 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. But that's how tight it is, and that's where, three things make a golf ball go far: ball speed, launch angle, spin rate. So you got to match all those numbers up. It's just ballistic. So when you lose by 4, you're like, man, if I would have hit it a half a degree higher, if I would have had, 300 less RPMs of spin, things like that. It comes down to 0.5%, 0.1% is what you're trying to get better at, event to event. You got guys swinging for the fences everywhere, and there's 4 guys on the tee box sometimes that can all go 150 miles an hour club head speed, and if they run into one, hit a ball 220, 225 ball speed. So there's more of these guys in the sport than ever before. And as a matter of fact, we just went through something, it's going to be in history, called the ball speed wars, where there were like 4 or 5 world records set on ball speed. As far as we know, they're world records, and we would know, but in like 1 week. So a guy from Canada, Ryan Gregnall, went 236.2. And then I believe Kyle went 237, and then Martin Borgmeyer went like 239, and then Seb Twaddell went 241 ball speed. It's insanity.
So this kid Seb, how old is he?
He's younger 20s, 22, 24, somewhere 21 maybe, from Australia. And the guy, you see him one time, you say, hey, I get it. I think his legs come up to my head. I mean,
He's
seriously.
big. He looks really big.
I mean, I think he might be half horse or something, like a mythological Greek character or something. But I mean, yeah, he can put up some serious club head speed. I don't know, he might have had something in the high 160s, picked up on TrackMan.
Yeah, I saw a number and it was hard for me to wrap my head around. I was like, oh,
well, that's almost
God.
One thing working against the sport is so outrageous that people are like, you know what, I forget this, I can't take it. So, like with Eddie Fernandez. Okay, and by the way, that's one thing that hurts Eddie Fernandez. I don't know how old Eddie is. If he sees this, he's old as dirt.
I think he's 51, I think.
Yeah, that's why I say old as dirt. But, Eddie is about one of the fastest guys on planet Earth at 51 years old.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think when he was competing, he hit 420, and I hit 420 in similar conditions. And if you're me, you go, uh-oh, the 51, he can keep up with anybody in the sport. So, that's one thing, like, he's so absurd that I don't know if he gets the proper recognition. He's going to hit it by, I don't know who's the long hitter on the Champions Tour. He'll hit it 60 yards by them, 70 yards by him. So it's it's almost like a fictional character, so that's that's why.
And one thing people don't know about Eddie is Eddie's a real good golfer.
Yes. One of the best swings I've ever seen. And, with your kind of methodology, yeah.
So this is kind of funny. So one thing the last year I've been really, really diving into, we might as well talk a little bit about technique because there's different ways of finding leverage with the club. Eddie and Kyle kind of have a move that seems to me that it kind of starts deeper on the backswing. Some people take it out and drop it on plane. Some people take it under, put it on the plane, and some people stay on plane. It seems to me like you stay more on plane the whole way.
I don't want to jerk it outside, but I've always been more outside, inside on the way down.
Yeah.
And, that's the way we were all taught, right? Like traditionally. And then, but, what I brought up to you is, then I'm watching Eddie and I'm like, I think he's over the top, everyone, because different people are going to use different methodology. But, the first place I noticed that was like Cam Champ. And I'm like, his hands are not doing what everybody's telling me they should do. What's going on? Now, I have been more open recently and just observationally that not everybody is going to, drop the hands inside. Club, yes, right? And that's where I think a lot of people get thrown off And so I'll see people's hand path. I'll be like, well, he's over the top. I think you're the same way. Those guys undeniably, like Kyle, Eddie, both take it very deep on the backswing, where Kyle, and I don't have Kyle's data or Eddie's data, but just observation, you can see with their eyes, their hands go deep. And then, I don't know what the right term is to say without everybody freaking out, because I don't want to say over the top because, people lose their minds, but you know what I'm talking about.
Eddie and Kyle kind of have a move that seems to me that it kind of starts deeper on the backswing. Some people take it out and drop it on plane. Some people take it under, put it on the plane, and some people stay on plane. It seems to me like you stay more on plane the whole way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'll even, try to say if I've picked the club up a little bit. Now that's not necessarily, that's something, my old man will yell at me, you're picking the club up, so I don't want to jerk it outside, but I've always been more, like outside, inside on the way down.
Yeah.
And, that's the way we were all taught, right? Like traditionally. And then, but, what I brought up to you is, then I'm watching Eddie and I'm like, I think he's over the top, everyone, because different people are going to use different methodology. But, the first place I noticed that was like Cam Champ. And I'm like, his hands are not doing what everybody's telling me they should do. What's going on? Now, I have been more open recently and just observationally that not everybody is going to, drop the hands inside. Club, yes, right? And that's where I think a lot of people get thrown off, right? Is because some people, I think even like my dad, and I can't speak for him, but I think he might look more at the shaft, look more at the club head. Well, I'm usually, for whatever reason, I'm looking at the hands. And so I'll see people's hand path. I'll be like, well, he's over the top. I think you're the same way. So it's just very interesting. I've been looking at that more and more. Now, for me personally, with long drive, it may not be the best, but I'm undecided. I'm agnostic on it at this point, but playing, I'm just not sure. But those guys undeniably, like Kyle, Eddie, both take it very deep on the backswing. Even Bryson with long drive takes it very deep on the backswing. But interestingly, Bryson, and we have some data with like the DeWiz that I've seen, his hands, they don't come over, they drop in like negative. So he takes it very deep and then drops it deeper, which is crazy. But his swing's very unique, obviously. Where Kyle, and I don't have Kyle's data or Eddie's data, but just observation, you can see with their eyes, their hands go deep. And then, I don't know what the right term is to say without everybody freaking out, because I don't want to say over the top because, people lose their minds. But you know what I'm talking about.
Vino, ear, nose, and throat doctor in San Jose. He's 85, and look at him swing.
The fastest way to better golf is simply to learn to swing over the top the correct way. The over-the-top move has been around forever. Like Bobby Jones, Sam Snead, and even Ben Hogan, you'll notice they had a little over-the-top move. Just listen to what my students have to say about the over-the-top miracle swing.
I'm feeling elated.
Thank you.
Dude, I love it.
What club is this?
I've received messages from golfers all around the world that my over-the-top swing is truly a miracle.
Yeah, I shot a 72 with Balboa, and it was easy.
Look at that.